أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So this is a continuation of our key concepts in Qur'an series, but since it's the new term, we decided to pick up a topic that we have studied in the past, but since many of you are our seasoned people, there might be some repetition here, but we did expect to have some new people as well. So inshallah, there's going to be some. So forgive us for the repetitive part of it, inshallah. So one of the key concepts that Quran mentions, actually, maybe as we turn the first page of Quran, as we start, it welcomes us with names, divine names, or names in general. So, Maryam, we can close the doors if you like. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, names. Quran talks about names. But what is it? What is names? It's one of the key concepts in Quran. But what does this mean, inshallah? Today we would like to go through that. Like we have familiar faces, but you haven't listened to this class from us before. So let's get your opinion about what, when Quran talks about names, what comes to your mind? I mean, that's a good question. So this is where names appears for the first time. Although names appear before here, but as names, the word Asmaa, this is where it appears in Quran in chronological order for the first place in Surah Al-Baqarah. Let's go from here. Let's start with your question. So, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. And when your Lord said unto the angels, I am about to place a Khalifa, a viceroy on the earth, they said, will you place therein one who will do harm and will shed blood, while we hymn your praise and sanctify you? He said, surely I know that which you know not. And after this, our key concept appears. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. And he taught Adam all the names, then showed them to the angels, saying, inform me of the names of these if you're truthful. What names are these then? Going back to our question, what does Quran mean when he mentions names that are taught to Adam? And in the follow-up verses, there's going to be a back and forth. But what are they? Because as we have been covering in these classes, in these Quran sessions, whatever is being mentioned in Quran is a guidance to me. It's not a, what's it called, a mythology. It's not a like simple story of the ancients, but rather it's something that is a vivid, alive guidance for me that I can confirm, that I am expected to confirm actually. But in this story, it says man or Adam is taught names. What names are you taught? Like, are you part of this story or no, for example? What does it mean that Adam is taught names?
what are like the names of everything, like any object. I feel like sky, mountain.
Okay, then how much is that relevant then as a guidance for you? Like now that the Adam learns names of objects, what sort of guidance do I extract from here? Question number one. Question number two, how can I verify this story? Because I'm going to say, Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi. So I'm going to bear witness to the book. Here is part of the book. How do you bear witness that the Creator says, I taught Adam all the names? So how do I say, yeah, Adam was taught names, I am sure. How can I bear witness to this? So the way we would like to study today, Asmaa in here is as something in regards to divine names. And a key question we will ask is, what does it mean that human is taught? What does this even mean? Like, what divine name am I taught? What does this signify in my life? So this is going to be a major question. We'll get back to here eventually as we are wrapping it up. But it looks like this is the distinguishing property of human being. My Creator is saying that what makes you a human, your distinguishing property is you are taught or you are able to learn names. Like in a sense, if you see a drilling machine, and if I say I designed this drilling machine for opening up holes in the walls, this is what it is made for. Like it's not a good hammer. Drilling machines are not good hammers at all. You shouldn't be using them for hammering stuff. You should only use them for drilling holes in the wall. And now my Creator is saying that human, you are made for names, learning names. That's what you're supposed to be experts at. Probably the only thing you should be worried about, names. Okay, so it seems to be an important thing. But what does it mean that names in the sense of divine names? Because I would like to focus on divine names part of it. Here's another verse. قل ادعوا الله أو ادعوا الرحمن أيما تدعوا فله الأسماء. Say, call upon Allah or call upon Rahman, by whatever name you call upon Him, for to Him belongs the most beautiful names. ولا تجر بصلاتك ولا تخافت بها وابتغي بين ذلك سبيلا. Neither speak your prayer aloud nor speak it in a low tone, but seek a middle course between. Allah is a divine name, a beautiful name. Rahman, like merciful. But what does it mean to say that God is merciful, or God is like naming Him as Allah, naming Him as Rahman? What does this even signify? What's your name?
Tala.
Tala. Your name is Tala. What does this signify to call you as Tala? It's a name. And not all the beautiful names belong to you, I guess. You just have one name, Tala. Okay.
I think if you think about it as words, it's kind of showing like you're glorifying His names and respecting His name, like the parents have like the traits that is only meant for them, for instance.
Okay. Specific traits. Okay, so these names are for, it has a use. Like if I didn't see you, if somebody says Tala is coming, what would that mean to me? Some person. Like it's just how many letters? 5 letters? Four letters? So it's just a sound for me. It doesn't mean much, right? But when we say Rahman, is it just yet another I guess, how many letters here? 4 letters? Is it just 4 letters or it means something? It means something. But how do you know that he is Rahman? What does this mean? What does it mean that God is Rahman? Would I know that God is Rahman just because he just knocks the door and says, oh, what's your name? And he says, oh, yeah, I'm Rahman. Like, nice to meet you. Is this how it is going? Or what does it mean to say that Adam is taught names? Is it a conversational way? I ask you, what's your name? And you say, my name is Tala. How do you get to know Rahman? Or let me put it this way. Have you ever taught Rahman? Or when in your life were you taught Rahman, if at all? Tala, questions are all coming to you. So what do you think? It's too much stress. You're not going to come again, I guess, after this much stress. Okay. I mean, yeah, ladies. Okay, we should ask too much. Okay, sisters, they're in. Save Tala from that pressure.
So the main question is like, what does it mean to like talk feelings, and what does it mean for Allah to have like these divine names?
Yeah, or let's be specific. When were you taught Rahman? Or have you ever been taught Rahman, whatever that is?
I guess I could say that I've experienced like mercy from pretty much the moment I came into this world. Like the first point of mercy would be like seeming to come from my mother as I grow up, like first like nourishment, love, and care seemed to come from my mother, and then like that care kept going on as I got older. I was experiencing that mercy from childhood, but I guess like as you grow older, you realize that that mercy from your mom doesn't necessarily from your parents doesn't really last forever.
Mm.
And you kind of get used to the idea that like, well, this is like a nice quality that I want to have.
Your mom is online, by the way. Be careful. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, in different aspects, like let's say I have to like leave home, and then I find there's actually mercy in other places as well. And so all in all, I think that mercy has to come from somewhere. Like I have this need for it, and it's not fulfilled by all these things I experienced that appear to be giving me mercy. So I feel like that kind of leads back to maybe the divine need that there needs to be somewhere where all this mercy is ultimately coming from.
Yeah. So, like for example, if you are if you are trained in a specific thing, let's say if you are trained in music, or if you are trained in what's it called, carpentry. Okay. The moment you step into a room like this is the first thing that will attract your attention. Or somebody really made this furniture out of hardwood and used this tool, that tool. Probably the light or electricity wouldn't attract my attention. If my training is in carpentry, the first thing that will catch my attention is this cabinet. It will start speaking to me. I can tell you a good story about this, which you will notice nothing about it, right? And just you can experiment with babies. Just smile at babies. Like 2 months old baby will smile back at you. Nobody taught anything to this baby about reciprocating smile, but the baby does notice something in your smile and reciprocate back to your smile. If you're stressful, baby gets stressful, especially moms know it. If the mom is stressed, baby cries a lot. If mom is chill, the baby is being chill. Like, where did this creature, which just came out, has these senses? So the ability to distinguish anger from mercy, from stress is there. The baby stepped into the room. Baby is not trained in carpentry, so doesn't pay attention to the furniture, but baby is trained in mercy, detecting mercy. So this is why baby is, when seeing mom's face, finds comfort in there. When sees an alien face, won't be as comfortable. Right? So we are trained to detect certain things. Welcome. You saved the ladies from questions. Now all questions will come to you. So try to catch up quick. Okay. So you are 22 minutes late. So you have to catch up quick. Okay. What's your name?
Mother.
Mother. Today's topic is about names. So we are trying to see what names mean. Like Quran talks about names. Your name is Mother. So in Quran, the Creator says we taught Adam the names, all of them. Now we learned that your name is Mother. Now we are trying to make sense of this. What does it mean that human is taught names? I just know your name, Mother, and it doesn't mean anything to me because I don't know what even that word means. And it doesn't tell me anything about your personality either. But when it comes to God being merciful, human can. But the question is, what does it mean to say that God is merciful? Because as Sister Zareen was mentioning, is my mom merciful or is God merciful or both? Like, what does that mean? Yes, I have the ability to learn names, but what does it mean to say that all beautiful names belongs to God? Merciful is a beautiful name, but it looks like it belongs to the Creator. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. To him belong the most beautiful names. Since we have Dr. Ali here, I would like to ask him a question. Like, does this mean to only him belongs to beautiful names? Or like, is my mom merciful? God is the most merciful? Like, what does this signify? فَلَهُ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى.
This process is, for example, the name, your name is Mother. Now, if you take a look, okay, this is what the Qur'an reads, and the prophet for upon God, for upon Father, your personality. If I told Ahmed that you should say, does your personality change? Does your personality change? Ahmed. So it means the name, whatever the concept we have, either A or B or C, we will play in the same and change. But any matter of whatever the name you say, you call upon, whatever you name you call upon. If you say I call upon him, it doesn't say that. There is no hope in the text. But whatever you can call the personal name, doesn't matter. Reality doesn't change. The reality changes only the matter of Asmaa the most beautiful name. And most of, although it is translated as personal, but it means the most absolute. Belong to whatever you concept you have as the creator of the universe, as the owner of the universe. The Quran says, Lord of the universe, Qur'an belongs to you. So the point is not, in this particular ayah, the point is not God's being mercy. Point is, proper name doesn't mean anything in and of itself. Okay? But all the perfection, the names of perfection, belongs to the one who is the owner of the universe. Not who. Because in the Quran, the most important concept is, I think in your office, who. Who means, he means, is one who owns, who create the universe, own the universe, and whatever the qualities you see in this universe belongs to him. The carpenter. The carpenter made this. What were the beautiful qualities you see in this carpenter? The work belongs to the carpenter. You know but he or she, it doesn't matter. The problem is not concerned here. So he or she, but the carpenter, with all the beautiful qualities we see in the world, belongs to the one who performed it. That's what this verse particularly emphasizing on. Carpenter, for example, if one goes up here, that's the example. Okay, let's give a the example. I am the best on this life. Would you believe in? Would you believe in? I am the best on. I'm sorry. I have to see you work.
But he has beard, no?
So, really, otherwise, creating nothing. So, we have to be, we are really, I am thinking about the world. We are doing a very important methodology here. What is this method of work? The fundamental method of the Qur'an is to introduce the Quran, creation, the order of the universe through his word. Now, without referring to the work of the owner or creator, you say Allah. What does it mean? The one who created gentleman is the one who created life, the one word. That is the method of understanding the Quran method. So we see that the Asmaa al-Husna, for example, not many scholars speak in this way. Is the Quran mentioning the names of Rahman, Rahim, Ghafur, Halim, Ali, Basir, but it's very interesting because he says, not the names of the things. This is called the table. So, as you said, it's not perfect. Complex. I don't know. No, in another language, you can use another. Does it give you any room? This is a chair, the way chair. I know it, I better than you. Asking the angels, hey, prostrate me for me. because I know the name of this stuff. But Abdul Razak says in the Qatil line, in his tafsir, he said, equally, the burden to its creator, where the reality of the beings, or the reality of the truth of the beings means equal. So what is there? What is so in a being? But example, is from we say, oh, but it's living. Yeah, it's a quality. It's a quality. Design, independence, skeleton, so proportion. Everything. What do you find? That is marvelous now. Why? Of course. Why? It manifests in this. Well,
Right.
so how can we know that the carpenter is quality somewhere here? Yeah, only when it manifests. So when you see the manifested quality here, this is the quality is just because the carpenter reflected his qualities on the world. That is why this is, for example, art. You can say carpenter is an artist. No, that's a good. So when you say in Arabic, Sania, artist means so Sania, who's Sania? Who is the artist of the universe? The one who gave existence to this. That's what I.
Yeah, the one who, because I do see artwork. Through artwork, I get to know the artist.
No, it's story. I think so. The African, I cannot go up of the universe. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay, audience is not being heard well. It's going to be hard to summarize. So briefly, so then when it comes to getting to know someone, we do not simply go with the claim or my name is this or that, or as the example was, if I claim that I am a reciter, the best reciter of Qur'an, we would ask the person to recite and then I will judge accordingly. So the beautiful names in this regard means we tend to see, evaluate, and understand whatever we experience. And as a conclusion, we say, the maker of this baby is merciful. The maker of this beautiful fall day is artfully painting the leaves as the fall is coming. So based on the acts, we get to know who the maker is. So that's how we learn names. So, and the names is something that is then, I'm going to take you to another verse, that we immerse, that we understand by not simply hearing the names or reading them somewhere. So, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ, and certainly we have created for hell many of the jinn and the mankind. The part that I would like to focus is the second line. لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا أُولَئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. They have hearts with which they failed to understand, and they have eyes with which they fail to see, and they have ears with which they fail to hear. They are like cattle, indeed even more astray. Such are utterly heedless. And as a follow-up to this comes, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاعُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. The most beautiful names belong to Allah, so call on Him by them. So now we ask the question, why is the description in the first one is being followed by the most beautiful names belongs to him. So in this regard, it looks like Quran is suggesting me that to get to know his names, what is meant is, if you have a heart with which you understand, if you have eyes with which you see, if you have ears with which you hear, then you will get to know the beautiful names. So it's not simply you're going to read it somewhere written, or somebody is going to say, oh, his name is John, or his name is Rahman, like, or his name is Tala. It's not a simple information exchange, but rather it's going to be something that's coming from your day-to-day experience. You will experience sometimes hardship, sometimes ease. Sometimes it's going to be a newborn baby. Sometimes it's going to be death of a friend. But all these experiences going to tell you, what is the message behind this? What does this tell me about its doer? Like if somebody comes and greets you as you were entering to the room, says, welcome with a smiling face versus welcome with just a blank face. This tells you quite a bit. Like what you get from the way you are treated tells you quite a bit whether this person was friendly or not. The person didn't even utter anything else. It was just a facial expression, but it tells you a lot. What does it mean that your most beloved friend passed away? Or what does it mean that you got promoted? What does this tell you about the one who gives this promotion? Okay, there was a question, a good follow-up question. He says, if we get to know him by observation, what about all the negative things we see? As I was talking about, right? Your best friend dies. What does this tell you? It's a negative thing, right? Why did my best friend die? He was too young. Like, why was he taken away? What does this tell me about the one who gives death? Because giver of death is a beautiful name. What is beautiful about giver of death? El-Mumit, it's a beautiful name. What is beautiful about that? Like, you meet is the one that gives death. Is the beautiful name? Say it again. Illness, yeah, diseases is also something that we experience. What's beautiful about diseases? Nobody wants to die. Well, at least even if I'm going to die, let me die without getting sick, without getting like, yes.
I don't like when I think about illness specifically, and ultimately maybe that's at least the way it's kind of viewed. Maybe it's just like because of my own family or however I've observed illness, but it's kind of seen as a mercy. Like whatever I remember, like when my aunt got sick, they were like, "This has to be mercy." Like she ended up dying from that illness, but ultimately they're like, we hope through this illness, whatever you have sinned in this world has washed away so that you can enjoy eternity. So I think like it just depends on how you view that illness. Is that a mercy or is that like just a pain that exists to be a pain? So what purpose is it truly serving?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you see it that way, though, that whole process was very merciful. In fact, visiting her more, there was spas happening continuously, so that whole process felt very merciful. Then maybe the day-to-day where like you were kind of just chasing life, I would say, rather than like that's maybe the most concern my family just like focus on trying to understand what our purpose in this world, very
Mm-hmm.
So I do think there's
Okay. There's something coming? No? I feel like something is cooking there. Okay, good. But let's try to I mean, Prophet says such a message, but how can I confirm that before dying? Because I'm trying to find a way to say that uh, I hope there's some goodness in death, but rather than hoping, how can I be sure and content about the goodness in there? Like, think of it like you bought some stocks, and then they're saying that these stocks are going to do well in 100 years, okay? And then day by day, days are passing, and you don't see any numbers increasing in your bank account, and you're quite worried. And still, like your banker is a very trustworthy person, and he says, "Don't worry, don't worry. In 100 years, this stock is really going to skyrocket. Just keep waiting." That's good. Maybe the guy's right. Maybe he's the best banker. But if there's a way to really see that the numbers are climbing, in my metaphor, like, is there a way to say that really, no, death is so beautiful. I am glad I am dying, or I am glad there's this sickness. It's so beautiful. The meaning of sickness is so beautiful. Can I say that? Yeah.
It's hard to be like, death is beautiful, maybe, but like, I want to die. I'm like, what if I want to die? Like, I'm like, I can't. I think like the idea of death is like, I'll be very happy to die if I feel that my end looks nice, right? I'm like, I'm okay, like I did my part to my best ability, but then I'm like, I don't have a check score that looks good enough that I'm like, I know my mark, like I'm ready to go. So I think for me, it's very hard to get to that point of like, I want to die rather than like, I hope I don't die before I do something decent enough to like be on the quote unquote like good side. So
Okay. So like, but let's talk about it for the moment. Like, am I content that the moment is also dying? Like this moment, we have been talking for the past 45 minutes, it's gone. Like those 45 minutes died. And which means a new moment that we were able to experience, right? So am I okay and content with this? Or like what is beautiful about those moments dying, for example? Is it something good? Because death is not a once upon a lifetime event. It keeps happening, right? How many times did your cells die so far? Is there any single cell that you have on your body right now which was there 1 year before? Probably not, right? Your entire body from last year is already dead. Like you already died at least twice within the past year, right? Death is, it keeps happening. Like you keep dying every moment in various different ways. So death is an ongoing event. But what is it that I can confirm that actually it's so beautiful that this death is happening? Sorry, there was a comment there.
But it made me think of, like it made me think of, if we look at the positive, beautiful qualities of something, it teaches us about the positive, beautiful qualities of the creator. But I also think in negative, for example, in death or in illness, I think, like you said, the giver of death, me seeing death, whether it's in a person or in a moment, reminds me of the one who gives death but also does not experience it. That's also like a perfection of anything that he creates that looks also negative is also it's also like showing that he does not he can create those moments without them belonging to him. Like the one who gives death but that doesn't never die. So every time I see that, I think of SubhanAllah, the only one who doesn't die is the one who gives death.
I mean, that's a very good point, actually, because what does this say? When I see something dying, what does this tell me? The thing that was there, which I thought was valuable, went away. What does this tell? It says, oh, it was not there because of itself, because it died. It's not there anymore. Yet another one comes. Like, what does death tell us? Death is the best guarantor, if you like, or the best messenger to tell us that there must exist an eternal life which I want. Why? Like the example here is, let's imagine you are looking at a river. Like it's like a waterfall. And in waterfall, the sun is just reflecting on the waterfall, and it gives this nice reflections on the waterfall. Okay. And you start enjoying the reflections of sun on this waterfall. But the thing is, as the bubbles burst, those reflections disappear. Like as the waterfall keeps coming, the reflection of sun on these bubbles are nice, you enjoy them, but the bubble bursts, which means the reflection dies. There was something that you enjoy, but once the bubble burst, you started feeling bad because, oh, the joy disappears. The beautiful thing went away. But what does this event tell you? The event tells that the beautiful imagery that I see, the reflection, did not belong to the bubble itself. Because this bubble burst, but the next bubble also have light on it. Light does not belong to the bubble. Light was coming from the sky, the sun. So dying of the bubble is teaching me, is reminding me that the sun is eternal. The beautiful sun is eternal. How does this apply to us? Dying of everything that's beautiful, it could be a most beloved person, it could be myself, it could be end of life, it could be end of my youth. My youth is dying. It tells me that, Yusuf, you were not the young, strong person. The giver of youth, the giver of energy to you, is not taking it away from you, but the youth, the beauty, the strength is at his hand. So if you rely on yourself, you die. But as long as you realize that beauty belongs to him alone, because it was coming to you from somewhere, it was not yours. Do you go to gym? You feel strong? Where does this strength come from, right? Because eventually, once you come to his age, not my age, probably those muscles won't be there. Like, if those muscles were yours, like you wouldn't let it go anywhere. But probably once we come to a certain age, we would realize that those muscles have died long ago, which is an upsetting moment. But if I take it as, oh, actually, it's a wake-up call for me, the giver of the muscle is saying that I gave it to you, I take it away from you, I am the powerful one, not you, and I do not die. So you rely on me, you will be secure. If you rely on yourself, you're already dying, you see that. So the death brings me such a beautiful news that the all-powerful one is ever alive. I die, so going back with Sister Aisha's answer, yes, it does. As I die or things die, it reminds me that there's a never-ending, never-dying source of power, never-dying source of mercy, and I am in need of that. Even though I die, my desires, my hopes for future do not die. Like people still, probably Dr. Ali is the youngest among us, like ask him about his ambitions. He is still going abroad to learn something. Come on, Brother Ali, like you are at what age? You're still trying to learn stuff? Like this ambition, this youth is there. You don't want to admit it, but you're so that is the human's desire for that. So death is saying that no worries, that's under guarantee. So that really brings me such a good news at the moment. If I reconsider my initial feelings toward death, yes, I don't like it. But if I reevaluate it, I say, oh, the giver of death is so beautifully giving it. So as we are about to wrap it up, I would like to share something that really excited me when I heard about it 11 years ago. I was listening to a recording. It was 2014. I still remember where I listened to it, and I was so excited about it. So there's this verse at the end of Surah Al-Hashr. So it starts by saying, لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. Had we sent down this Quran on a mountain, indeed you would have seen it humble itself and clave asunder for fear or consciousness of Allah, khushu'. Such are the similitudes, metaphors, which we give to men that they may reflect. This is the intro verse. And then after this verse comes, Wallahu alladhi la ilaha illahu. Like, He is Allah, other than whom doesn't exist any God. Alimul ghaybi wa shahada wa rahmanur rahim. It starts giving names. After this intro, it starts counting names. I just pulled up one of such verses. There are many, 3 verses. Wallahu al-khaliqul bari'ul musawwir. He is Allah, the creator, the shaper, the fashioner. Lahul asma'ul husna. His are the most beautiful names. يُسَبِّحُ لَهُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. All that is in the heavens and the earth glorifies Him. وَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الْحَكِيمُ. He is the mighty, the wise. I was reading, I memorized these verses, and that was an interesting verse. I never thought about it. So why does it start by saying that if this Quran was to be revealed on a mountain, then mountain will just get into dust pretty much. Like it will shake and get into dust. From the consciousness of Allah, or khashyatillah, from the fear of Allah. Well, what does this mean? Sending Quran down on a mountain. What does this even mean? Because like we put Quran on top of a shelf, nothing happens to the shelf. Like it's not literally putting something on top of something. But what does it mean, and how can I bear witness to this? Especially if, given that, it says, وَتِلْكَ الْأَمْثَالِ نَضْرِبُهَا لِلنَّاسِ. So this is a metaphor given to humans so that they will think. What does that mean? Okay, it's over. So I would like to follow up with this. The exciting part that was mentioned in this occasion was Quran talks about a story. That's why we shouldn't take stories in Quran as stories. Quran talks about Musa alayhi salam's conversation with his creator. So Musa alayhi salam comes to the mountain and have a talk, have a conversation with God. What does he say? ولما جاء موسى لميقاتنا وكلمه ربه قال ربي أرني أنظر إليك. When Moses came to the place appointed by us and his Lord addressed him, he said, Moses said, "O my Lord, show yourself to me that I may look upon you. Right? This is how you would like to get to know someone. You can ask their name. Name doesn't mean much. And you would like to say, okay, let's have a face-to-face conversation. Show yourself to me. Then the Creator says, قَالَ لَن تَرَانِي وَلَكِنْ انظُرْ إِلَى الْجَبَلِ فَإِنِ اسْتَقَرَّ مَكَانَهُ فَسَوْفَ تَرَانِي. Allah said, by no means can you see me, but look upon the mountain. If it abide in its place, then shall you see me. فَلَمَّا تَجَلَّى رَبُّهُ لِلْجَبَلِ جَعَلَهُ دَكًّا وَخَرَّ مُوسَى صَعِقًا. When his Lord manifested his glory on the mount, he made it as dust. And Moses fell down unconscious. فَلَمَّا أَفَاقَ قَالَ سُبْحَانَكَ تُبْتُ إِلَيْكَ وَأَنَا أَوَّلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. When he recovered his senses, he said, glory be to you I turn in repentance, and I am the first to believe. What does this tell? Like these two verses in that prior discussion that I was listening to back then, I was listening to it as I was in the parking lot of the company that I was working at the time. So in the first verse that I mentioned in the previous one, it was saying that if we were to reveal this Qur'an to a mountain, it would become dust. And then it started telling divine names. Now this verse is saying, Musa alayhi salam wants to talk to the Creator. And the Creator wants to see the Creator. He says, you cannot see me, but look at the mountain. And then he manifests to mountain, and the mountain becomes dust. And then he believes in his Creator. What does this tell us? Do you see any relationship between the two? Between the two, like the previous verse and this verse. Because both are talking about mountain crumbling into dust. In one it says if Quran was revealed on a mountain, it would crumble into dust, but then started talking about divine names. In this one it says, Musa asked to see me. Then I told him, you cannot see me, but look at the mountain. And he manifests himself on the mountain, and the mountain becomes dust. What does this tell you? Like let's take it this way. Imagine today you go home, you prayed Isha, and you said, oh Allah, I want to see you. And your Creator tells you that, oh, look at the tree right before your door, and manifests into this tree. And the tree gets into dust. Okay? Talking about how Musa alayhi salam experienced it. This is somehow should be related to the previous verse, which is here. It says, if this Quran was to be revealed on a mountain, it would have become dust. If Quran was to be revealed to a tree, it would crumble. There wouldn't be a tree anymore. If Quran reveals on a tree, it's not a tree anymore. But what is it? It is divine names. You start seeing divine names if Quran touches on a mountain. If Quran touches on a tree, what you see is divine names. What does this mean? If I look at this plant over there, let's give an example. There's a plant. If I look at this plant with the eyes of my biology knowledge, I will start talking about its taxonomy. I would say that, oh, it has 7 branches. Each branch has this many leaves. And the life of this is this. It's that many ages, this and whatnot. This is a plant. But once Quran touches it, Once I start seeing it as it's a manifestation of my creator, just like this cabinet was the manifestation of a carpenter. And the carpenter was talking to me with his art here. Who is talking to me on this plant? By looking at the plant, what could you say? Like apparently it was a artful, skillful painter. He knows about energy and electricity and whatnot because this is what those leaves are for. It's not just beautiful, it's functional. It's not a static thing. I don't know if that is plastic. Like what happens with the plastic plants? You just paint it once, it stays like this. In real plants, it keeps being updated moment to moment. New cells, it keeps being replaced, which means the one who works on it keeps working on it. It's not a static object. It keeps being maintained, right? Even to maintain this office that we are here, how many people are working here? Like that cell is a more complicated machinery than this room here. And it's being cleaned up, energy is being provided, food is being provided, dirt is being thrown away. That single plant, if Qur'an touches it, if the guidance touches it, it starts divine names. It's like the plant itself crumbles, what's left behind is all divine names. If you look at things with this lens, once God manifests of something, I mean, it's always God's manifestation, but once you become conscious of that manifestation, then everything becomes divine names to you. Musa alayhi salam wanted to see the Creator. The Creator said, look at the mountain. Look at the tree before your house. This is where you are going to see my divine names. You cannot see me. You can see my names, my artwork, which tells about me. This is how you get to know me. So it's not that my Creator is saying that I am the best reciter. My Creator recites, and then I know He's the best reciter. My Creator doesn't simply claim, I am the most merciful. No. You do observe mercy everywhere in your life. Then you say, oh, there must exist an all-merciful one. And once I look at things with this lens, the existence crumbles into pieces. Everything becomes divine names. Who watched The Matrix? Did you watch The Matrix?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, I was going to make a reference to The Matrix, but anyways. It looks like that movie is too old now. So everything in this regard is telling us about divine names, but nothing. And human is made to read this. This is what human is good for. This is what it means that human is taught divine names. I can understand them. I am made to understand them. So, and Qur'an from the very first page, it starts by saying, Bi-ism Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. The word ism after bi is the first thing that welcomes us in Quran. So it's all about this. The rest of the book is all about ism, because the universe is all about ism. Like the whole universe is speaking about ism, the names, the attributes of its maker, and we are made to be able to understand them. This is what it means to be a human. From the reverse side, if I am not reading names, then how much of a human am I? May Allah make us read those names and act in such names, in the names. That's why Bismillah. So act in the name of Allah, start in the name of Allah, think in the name of Allah, conclude in the name of Allah. So may Allah make us achieve that. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة.